welcome back to Valorant First Strike Europe, where SUMN FC have just taken a map off of FPX. Not an easy thing to do at all. Boaster with a little fist bump there to himself. Guys, you know, I think a lot of people probably would have seen a 2-0 coming into this for FPX. But after that split, SUMN FC bit back. They showed us why they deserve to be in the semi-finals for sure. But I think there's a very clear disparity between the approach both of these teams had in the first map in comparison to what they did in the second map. Lothar, just break that down for us.
Yeah, well, first of all, it seemed like this map on Haven, both teams played more tactically, with more, let's say, time reserve on both sides. What I really like, though, is even though I would like to say that I knew FPX playstyle from the past Haven games that I watched them, they changed it up a lot. The perfect example was the pistol round, when they did play very aggressively on long A, and just pushed into SUMN, which SUMN didn't read into that at all, so that caught them off guard. But also, what I really loved from both of those teams, they adapted to each other. Like, first of all, FPX was reading well into the double fakes from SUMN, which we know was happening on Bind in quarterfinals, was happening actually on Split as well, and it wasn't effective. So after a few rounds, I saw SUMN using that tactic less and actually went into like singular fakes, which was more effective in general. So in what I would like to just sum up here, I felt like both teams counter-stratted and improvised during the game and not just in the beginning of it, you know? Well done.
I mean, yeah, I think it was definitely a masterclass. We spoke a lot going into this matchup about the brains, about if they could counter, the counter, as Jonas said. And I think we're seeing some of that, Hypoc.
Yeah, I mean, just much better round reactions from SUMN. And again, and not really bowing to the presence of Angel as well. They were much better at controlling territory in the early round, which Angel wasn't getting aggressive in terms of like the same way you'd see like CNED, like bursting out mid, like just taking that straight off spawn wall drops, take an aggro angle. Angel's he'll creep in the early round. And the first 15 to 20 seconds is where Angel finds that ground and he picks up those kills. SUMN did much better at kind of controlling their pace in the early round. And a number of times, Angel fell was first blood. And again, that was a huge factor on Split, the number of times he was able to go unpunished in those positions. So I really like that from SUMN, kind of just taking a step back and then not being kind of too keen to shut that down, but kind of playing into Angel's hand effectively. So I really like that. The other thing, SUMN just looked way better in terms of utility usage there. We talked about yesterday how good they looked in terms of synergizing these different agents and the different abilities that were being put to use, but most notably on like eco rounds. Again, they were waiting out utility from FPX, anything that was saved coming into that round, but also their utility usage on the way in. They were waiting for a bite from FPX before just investing everything. That was actually really key, because on Split there was a couple of times where I felt as if they were just throwing in what they could and seeing what value they could get off it.
Well, this, for me, it feels like the reason why teams should ban Haven against SUMN FC. They're still unbeaten on Haven in the qualifiers. Of course, FPX banned out the Icebox. But, you know, going into this, I would have expected them maybe to ban out the Haven, especially after what they saw in the quarterfinals. But none of that matters, because the next map is Bind. And dare I say it, maybe one of the most anticipated maps in Valorant EU history. I don't want to like overshoot this, but just a narrative, two Vipers. You've got the Angel Viper, you've got the Mystic Viper, you've got the two teams that are very similar in playstyle. They respect each other a lot, and it happens to be the decider for a place for the final.
It would have been actually amazing to just get the same rounds from FPX and SUMN that they executed on Bind against their quarterfinalist opponents, you know, and just set them together into one round as well and pitch that against each other, because they used the same Viper walls from two different angles, so they would actually just meet, you know, just touching each other. So we would absolutely love to see this. I hope the players have good enough PC to sustain two Viper players on the server as well. But I really do hope that we're going to see double Viper right now. And maybe something else new. I don't know. We'll see.
Hypog, what do you think? Two Vipers. I don't remember any time that's happened.
Do you know what? Before this week started, I don't think I could possibly be excited about Viper in any context at all. But I'm sat here now just so thankful we're going to the third map because this has been a massive conversation topic. I mean, ultimately, it's now who's going to do it better, which is a fantastic way to conclude this. The one thing I will say is, again, if someone kind of default to that over-reliance on this setup, because I think FPX are a team that we know they're going to have reviewed those VODs.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to have a game plan to address that.
They're not going to push a short.
That's for sure. But again, I'm fully expecting Angel to have turned something round and have a number of variations to counter this. So I don't want to see Summon using that as a crutch. I want to see them innovate a bit on the fly. A couple of things we talked about on Haven. I want to see that coming out from them because I do think FPX will be very prepared for what Summon are about to try and do.
I'm sure we're going to get a lot of replays for tomorrow to do a spy cam analysis. We're going to draw a lot of stuff and arrows on it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm really looking forward to the next map. Like, I cannot wait.
Honestly, I feel like tomorrow we give you 25 minutes just over there. You can
Mitch
geek
and Lothar
out.
are going to be fighting over
you
the
guys
screen.
geek out on Viper as much as you want. One point I wanted to make. There's your cosplay already.
That's me on the Viper. Tomorrow we're just going to talk about Viper all day.
Lothar is ready for any occasions to be Viper. One point I do want to make is even if Summon SC don't win the next map, the odds are still against them, let's be honest. We have to remind everybody that this is an unsigned team. This is a team with no support, with no org. This is a team where Doma is still at school. Their coach Mini just quit their jobs. Boaster and Chak both also quit their jobs. Mo even dropped out of uni to be here. So, you cannot take anything away from them, even if they don't win.
We were talking about experience earlier. I don't want that to be a factor. I don't want to let this pressure get to them because, again, one of the best kind of tests for a team is kind of not cracking under pressure. We've talked about that a few times with a few other teams at this event.
It's time for Agents. Mo is hovering sky.
Mystic
is also hovering sky. Okay.
What's happening? Wait,
okay.
Mo is assigned to...
All right, okay, so
Sova.
3 people...
Mystic...
Oh, wait. FPX? Are they not playing Viper?
No! They robbed us!
FPX are not playing Viper!
They robbed us.
Boaster is on the Omen and Doma has whipped out the Reyna! What is going on, you guys?
I'm very disappointed. That's all I'll say.
I am disappointed as well. I thought we were going to have a historic match between two Vipers on Bind. But at least we have one. And Doma on the Reyna is also a big surprise. Did he play in the qualifiers?
No. Okay, Boaster has not touched Omen since the beta. Boaster used to play Omen in the very first week of the beta, and he was on a mixed team where he sort of tried out Omen, and then he had to sort of move on to Sage, I believe, and then Jet. So this is the first time we're going to see Boaster playing Omen ever in an official, I believe. And Reyna is Doma's favorite agent. He's been begging Boaster to let him play Reyna, but it's been a resounding no for months.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. Reyna is a very selfish character that doesn't really fit in most of the team playstyle, right? She needs to be fed to make sense.
Yes.
Otherwise, she's kind of
punishing solo spots and things like that as well.
The leers, the eyes are, well, the worst flash in the game. That's what I'm going to say.
Put it this way, Reyna, I think, is actually a terrible pick versus FPX because of that discipline, because of the buddy system, how effectively they trade and things like that. This could, I mean, it could be 200 IQ. It could be an absolute disaster. I'm a little bit peeved.
To explain, because you made the point about the buddy system from FPX, so they never allow someone to be alone, right? But Reyna can use the dismiss.
Yep.
But the thing is, even when you press the button that is responsible for the dismiss, there's like a 500 milliseconds activation on it, so you can still die even though you're gonna become purple for a second.
Well, I cannot wait to see how Mitch reacts to this because we only have one Viper on the server, but don't let this make you forget that this is a huge game for both of these teams because whoever wins this next match will be in the First Strike Finals.
You know what? I'm hyped for the game, but frankly, I'm not upset.
You're disappointed.
I am disappointed.
I can tell it you're disappointed.
I've been let down. This is not the epic Viper versus Viper matchup, but it is, luckily, what I actually hinted at a little bit earlier on. I was saying that Doma said that he didn't like playing the Omen, but he did hint on Twitter he might be playing the Reyna, and here it is, pulled out in full force. Now, this is somewhere that you'll see him thrive, hopefully, on an individual level. Doma's been solid so far on the Raze. He said yesterday, give me my Raze back. Today, he's obviously feeling the Reyna. I'm loving the confidence, and now we get to see how FPX do against Viper.
I mean, I'm gonna be pretty honest with you. I feel like this is completely tactical because they knew 100% that SUMN was gonna play the FPX-esque playstyle.
Sure.
And maybe they have some sort of insane tactic with this setup to like counter it.
Well, obviously, we're looking at Angel in a different light as well because of the fact that he's not even gone for the Brimstone. You know, if I see him switching back, I'm seeing that faster execute, but he doesn't want to do that. Not against the Viper that he knew would probably come out on SUMN. So, straight away, you see that flash used for a 3-man peek down B long. TP coming through, but it's a fake with a shadow step. You can pop that on the floor while jumping into the TP. You'll go through, make the noise, make them scared, and then pop on back. And you can see now, with Angel's position, it causes a little bit of paranoia because you have to go back and check out that angle. You're like, is there someone in there?
Oh, I see what you did there. Oh, that's a shock dart inside a teleporter. Don't mind if I do. Shao is just lurking around here, not really finding anything.
Oh, that's so smart, dude. So the shock dart goes in to open up the teleporter wall and then allow Meadow to get inside. That's unbelievable.
Wow.
So obviously the bounces there perfectly let it through. I'm in love with that by FPX. Now they've got a great little lurk if someone try a fast rotate. This essentially gives them hookah control once they seize it. They use the drone that you don't normally see. But up on a pistol! Meadow runs out of ammo. Taken down. TP comes in, but they're thinking, wait, what? Meadow's here, but they take him down. And it's all up to Zipman to get it done. A 1v2, a Ghost, low HP, but he has his nade. He's got it still in effect. Is he going to chuck it in towards the defender spawn? Not yet. He's worried about someone jumping out of hookah, but instead, he should be worried about my boy Mystic on the Viper.
That was such a smart play. The shock dart into hookah there. My only question is if they expected it, because why would an attacking team shoot a dart into the teleporter?
So there's two things I can say. One, they probably expected. They seem to, because Chak, it's going to take me a while to get used to that.
T-Sack.
We learned recently it's Chak, not T-Sack, for those of you out there. So Chak went through the TP and started spinning. He was like 3,000 DPI spinning. I play on 400, so that'd be very low. But then when you look at the other aspect, maybe the idea was that they would think he missed it, that he meant to like bounce it off a wall and they just went in there and it was just unlucky. I think you need to sell it a little bit more because it did go straight in. Maybe bounce it off something first. I don't know. But that's something for you, Jonas. Something for you to figure out, actually.
Oh.
You can text your buddies, hey, I've got this new shock dart lineup. It bounces twice, goes in TP, sells some great stuff. But either way, FPX, they've come into this one. They've only got some base pistols, and yet damage is already done.
Yeah, Angel's already picked up a Spectre here from winning that duel earlier. Not much happening yet, as it's a pretty slow slay style here.
Oh, that it is.
Yeah, a slow slay style. You love to see it. But the push starts to come in on A short here, going through the smoke here. About to get some contact as the paranoia misses, but the TP comes out. No, this is terrible for Angel. That feels so bad.
He didn't know he just about missed it, and here comes the one-way setup as Mo capitalizes on so many kills. Shadow is 1 HP. He's been lit down by the snake bite. He was taking double damage, and even as this flash goes through, you're dead. Oh, you're so dead. As Chak takes him out with a stinger and picks up a sheriff. Actually a valuable pickup as well, because now he's got the option to take those close-range fights with a one-shot headshot weapon.
That must feel so bad for Angel there. When you, you send that paranoia.
Blind.
Oh, I can feel the pain.
It is literally a pixel to the right. That's the problem. He was slightly too much to the right on that aim, and so it left that player completely unblinded.
Yeah, that you know, that snake bite once again combined with that one-way smoke, it's so hard to push through.
Yeah, we've seen it from Mystic so many times, and he's set up in the exact same position again.
Yep.
It's how they like to play this A site, man. It makes it so difficult to do anything in the early stages of pushing towards that, because remember, she starts with 100 toxins now. It used to build up, so she's just able to leave that up with her wall for a long, long time.
Yeah, and combined with the Cypher utility on B site, there isn't really an easy bomb site to take here.
No, there's no easy way in. As you look at Summon, they're being smoked out. Actually, that's to counter the one-way, cause a little bit of concern. They've popped their own up on top. Here comes a snake bite.
Ooh.
Or I thought, it looks like they're going to just wait patiently. Maybe that snake bite was going to be flung into the TP if they decided to teleport. But let's look at FPX's intentions. They have a player outside a bathroom, 2 still on middle, Spike outside the A side. They are pressuring in towards B. I look down towards Xiao. He has not got a drone at the moment. That's a problem. So clearing this angle out is going to be very difficult. And if they go one at a time, Doma can easily frag them. They decide to back off. Spike picked up. And now it's a full mid push. But Mystic is quick to open it up and still has a snake bite to slow down this push. He's peeking wide and catches them off guard. I mean, how could you expect it?
30
Absolutely,
seconds
and
left.
for once we don't see this buddy system we've seen earlier. Questionable maybe if Angel was shut off there by the Viper smoke and the rest was simply too far behind to actually follow up as Shadow goes close to the Viper wall here, sneaking up. He gets peeked on through the wall though, he's still alive, but there Mo takes him out, and this is gonna be very hard. And the 10 seconds left on the clock as well. There isn't really much they can do, but Meadow takes out Boaster. Maybe they can get a plant down here?
He has to go for it right now. There's just no time anymore.
No.
Through the TP you go. Meadow's running for his life. Xiao's looking to catch some refrags if players do pursue him, but nobody does. They tuck on in, and those weapons will be carried through to the next round for FPX, but another failed attempt at the push as they poke and prod and figure out exactly what their opponents of Summon FC are doing. And I think now they should have a pretty good read. Look at that.
Did you see that?
The timing wasn't quite perfect because the shock dart would have popped before the vulnerability was inflicted, but either way, I mean, it works. There was 10 seconds left. They were just making sure they sent a message loud and clear, you're not getting a plant.
Just the fact that they're trying those things makes me very happy, I'll be honest. Because we all know that both, like, the only thing Viper's good for is to give shock darts more damage, so...
Well, you know what? Maybe when you and I play together, but in general, in the hands of someone like Mystic, Viper's good for a whole lot of things. But combined with a Sova, it's very powerful. And you notice that Summon FC, and this was actually a point that you brought up, Jonas, yesterday, that Summon FC like to play on the other sides of the walls. They'll use their drone or the recon arrow to actually clear out the other side, spot the players, and get the frags through it. Chak and Doma, talking to getting frags, they're doing that textbook as they pick up a 2-man advantage in a round where FPX don't have a lot to work with. One of the rifles already dropped. And that's, again, the second time somebody's died to that exact same tripwire.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. And as you said, they're on a low buy here. Not too much to work with. 50 seconds left on the clock. They don't really seem to find the openings that they were able to find on Split here. We'll see if they can find something as the smoke goes out. They're starting to get moving in on site, but... Ooh, and the pick comes out. A beautiful shot there by Meadow. Doma taken out. You still have a Cypher lurking into elbow. Meadow's actually pushing him. Can we have a little Cypher duel going on here?
Looks like it's Cypher versus Cypher, but a little bit of a lazy peek on that angle. Doesn't fully clear it. Flicks away before he's able to get the shot off onto Chak, and it's all down to Shadow. He's going to have to evade a couple of players, catch some quick kills, and a plant. It's just not really possible at this stage, is it? He goes in for the plant. 10 seconds on the clock, and it looks like he's in a lot of trouble.
That was a very strange duel there at the end. And yeah, Shadow simply wasn't faster than his own Shadow this time, but it's a tricky situation. Anyway, 4-0. FPX needs to maybe starting to get a bit worried here now, trying to find out. I mean, we talk about this time and time again. Here we see that lazy peek here by Meadow is really unfortunate. Chak was really low, but still, the Stinger is super dangerous in close combat. So he played that to his advantage really well.
Oh, now 4-0 for FPX. They get their bye. This is where they can do some damage and not come into the round with the intention to die, as they did in the previous, where they didn't have a lot to work with. And it always sucks when you've got to take those rounds, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. The TP, again, going to be faked, and really, just playing mind games at this point. Someone, they're just throwing it out there. Boaster's like, hey guys, I could be behind you, in front of you, beside you, on top of you. I could be wherever I want to be, and you're never going to know. And it really is annoying, because at this point, he could just be sat in there for the next 30, 40, 50 seconds, and as soon as they go, he's not in the TP, let's push bathroom, he could come out behind them. And you're always thinking about that.
Yeah, it's a Sova drone comes through, teleport here, didn't find any information, but of course not seeing anyone is still information as Shadow's about to entry out of bathroom here. It's gonna be a big clash soon as ultimates are coming out. Left, right, and center. Zipan gets a nade kill as well, still holding his rocket, not finding anything. Doesn't actually connect, neither does a Sova, but Mystic takes out Meadow, and suddenly we have a very active round so far.
Mystic, no support on the A side of his wall. It was used towards the B side, so they've just got to go in for the kills. Mystic gonna pop in and clear the corner with the snake bite. Nobody in there. They'd be pushed out at this point, I guarantee it. No one's gonna be taking that vulnerability and damage for that long. A roll Thunder a peek right after FPX. Looking to take down Mystic. Great movement though. He gets to safety before he gets taken down. Jack is able to trade. So much damage done to Xiao. Now 1 HP. He's caught behind that smoke. Jack, he spotted and baited out the shot, but Angel eliminates in time. Mystic 1 for 1. Low HP on Xiao. The spray is so close, but he can't get him. Goes to pop his ultimate, but at that moment, Xiao peeks through, and FPX, they get around on the board.
Jeez. That was so close. The wall bang there, so close, but I still think that the bomb was too far. I feel like that Viper ult could that have been a misclick by any chance, or did it actually not go off? It did look like he.
I don't think it went off.
Maybe it was the wall. Don't they have like kind of the same?
No, he'd already popped the wall. It was definitely the activation. The hands go out and open up. Trust me, I've played enough Viper. I know what that ult looks like. But the thing is, so it could have been a misclick. The panic, right? He's running over, he's jumping, he realized I don't have enough time, players coming for me, and then thing. But look, he's got his ultimate still, because obviously you press X, which takes it out to line it up, and then you activate it. He didn't activate it, got killed in time, luckily, so the ultimate wasn't wasted. Smoke down for spawn. FPX clearly looking to push this B site. Boaster gets ahead of the flash in a really good position now. Pushes at the right moment, but he doesn't get the kill. Jack luckily able to trade ahead of time, but he's taken down right after.
Oh, Domai's popped his ultimate. He's going into Twitch clip mode, but it gets taken out by Xiao as Mo refracts him straight. Gets another one as well. Zipan's just clean shot to the head, and another one.
Oh, baby! Let's go, Mystic, the Viper main. This guy is insane. 5-1 for Summon as they summon the power to walk on through with a strong defensive side. One of the first we've actually seen when it comes to bind. That was sick by Mo. He assisted the kill up above, but Mystic, he takes the cake on that.
Yeah, we talked earlier about how all these Viper utility is going to cause some FPS drops, but if this continues, we might as well have an FPX drop.
I love Mystic, man. I love watching this guy. Honestly, I like watching him drop FPX all over the place. Dropping corpses, dropping ults, dropping everything. His wall here is actually a little bit different than what we've seen in the past. This is to fully cut off the A site. So they're going to give them control over the teleporter. I haven't seen them use this at all. It's a one-way to cover in towards bathroom if they do want to give up that control. And so typically, to me, oh wow, this is going to be a rotate to the B site for extra support. Not a 3-man A setup still, but I think they're going to wait till they use the drone out first and spot nobody mid. Oh, those players have snuck away just in time.
Absolutely, they have, and that's going to slow down this push tremendously. But of course, FPX here on a very low buy, kind of scarce utility, not much to work with here. It's not going to be an easy task to get into this bomb site. They still have a plenty amount of time as Xiao gets a very clean shot here on Doma. Maybe starting to open up the bomb site a little bit. Cypher has a really good angle to hold here from elbow. He's still holding it. Oh, but a missed shot there as the peak comes from. He's jiggling like a champion. It gets tagged, but it's still not enough to get him down as the flash comes out, but he's quickly to dodge it. Oh, beautifully done by Saki. Pops his ultimate as well. He's flashed by the paranoia. Gets a tag as well on his camera in all of this madness. This guy is insane.
I like that. You know, I can't see a thing. Screw it. I'm going to take the camera out and help my teammates. Jack able to grab another before he goes down. Big work already done. And the rest of his team should close this out. The Xiao Show almost getting an early debut. Shadow on 1 HP. He'd evaded the UI, but he didn't evade Summon as they take him down and get a defuse. But a good eco round for FPX.
Absolutely. It was just... It was so, I'm just so flabbergasted by that Jack play there. He's like flashed and fully stressed out. He's like, might just enter my camera and tag someone in hookah and then keep playing. I was like, dude, how many brains do you have?
The funny thing as well is that he's playing versus FPX, and FPX mostly use Vandals. So in that situation where they paranoia you, unless they hit the headshot, you'll be able to return fire by seeing their tracers and the shots.
Yep.
But look, he went for the cam, tagged up a player, got his teammates in with a little bit more information. I respect it.
Yep.
Hell, there's worse things you can do in a panic. That's for damn sure.
Yep.
Again, another mix-up of the wall, and the Mystic has been changing these constantly. This one right here, we've seen it in the past, obviously. I think we've seen it in this game as well. Used to get some aggression in through bathroom, and now they're splitting in a TP. Boaster in with 2, but FPX, they've returned the kills. They've gotten away with much more than you'd expect. Sure, the space was opened up for Boaster, but now, oh my God, Mo, this is sneaky. If they checked it. They checked it. You're dead, Mo. Unfortunately, well handled by FPX to be cautious and clear it. They know Mystic plays around this position, and they know Boaster was inside a bath. I would TP to B in this situation. They're gonna do it. Okay, good read by FPX, and the timing was God tier.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a matter of seconds there before Boaster had a perfect flank. He probably TPs. He actually canceled his TP. Oh.
Huh. How did he do that?
Oh.
Planted.
Well, actually, you know what? I think he might have thought that they would rotate, they would TP and rotate straight back through middle. So now he's guaranteed that they're not, but it's already planted. Mystic, he can back off now. He can just play this with his teammate. It's a 2v2. This is perfectly winnable, and Boaster's taken so long to come on this flank. But look at FPX. They're being proactive. They're not sitting ducks on the bomb site waiting to be taken down. Instead, they're going out and clearing elbow, but at just the right time, Mystic comes up behind. He gets 1. They have no idea on Sitban. Boaster spots him and sprays him down for 3, and like, yeah, he's got enough time. He's gonna get the defuse. I was worried when he missed it. I'm like, it's pretty close. The ticks of this spike give me anxiety, man. It always feels like it's about to explode.
My goodness. Who would have thought that we would be on map 3, 7-1 for Summon when we saw the first map?
Yeah, not a lot of people. Not a lot of people.
No.
I guarantee the Twitch chat analysts did not predict this. Or if they did, fair play. I mean, you deserve some subs from the SUMN to my left.
Yeah, about that.
He's already promised enough, I think, over the course of this. He doesn't want to risk it. All the Summon fanboys in chat. Well, you know what? Now's a good time to pop those emotes to let us know, because this is the best game in Summon's history. They're so close to defeating FPX now. We mentioned as well that most of these teams, they've been thriving on the attacking side. I'm buying that's been true. And for FPX, they've only got 1 round.
Yeah, and we talked about this earlier. Can we see some upsets here? We already G2 lost. Imagine if we're actually going to get Heretics versus Summon FC in the finals. I think nobody could have predicted that so far.
No. If anybody's actually made that prediction before this event, you're a lunatic. You absolutely are. But for Summon, apparently our producer did. I doubt that. But for Summon, 7-1 lead. They're locking down these lineups of the walls and the setups for Viper in general. The A side has been changing every single round in how you can expect this defense to be set up. You see FPX now poking out in bathroom, and as soon as Meadow sees that one way is up on top, out of there, buddy. He's leaving, falling back over towards middle. Now for FPX, are they fully intending to move towards the B site? Because the spike's gonna loan up long. I hate that setup. That scares me a lot. Dome is able to get 1, heals up. He's now got the armor, pops the leer. He's scared of swinging the headshot angle. Not gonna work versus Xiao, but the trade is there immediately by the Hunter's Fury. And now down to a 2 versus 4. The 1 weak weapon that Summon had got them so much value.
Absolutely, and that was perfectly played by Mo as well, because you can see him on the minimap as soon as he starts to shoot. So he used that opportunity to use his Hunter's Fury. Great use of utility there. As the arrow comes out, the info gathering comes out, the plant is going down. There's still a few seconds left. Only 1 man remaining though, and just like that, we're going to 8-1.
Very smart move by Summon as well. You realize how low the time is. There is no chance that player is faking. What does that tell you? It means there's a 4v1 on offer. That other player is the player is planting, removed from the situation. He cannot help. Even if he wants to get off it and shoot, he cannot. He has to stick it. So they just run out. They're happy. They're like, yeah, Shadow, you take the first one, but then we know where you are. We trade it instantly, and then it's a 3v1. Again, very winnable situation because you know where he is after the spike. Perfectly handled. This is just clinical play from Summon FC, and it further builds onto what we were saying earlier, that first map did not do them justice. And if we didn't make it all the way to map 3, it would be a disservice to the Summon FC name. And now we are seeing that in full force. Summon FC are not a team to be underestimated. Nice early fight that Mo manages to trade, but oh, FPX, they're not a fan of the mid push by Summon at all.
Oh no, they're trying to show that they're still in this fight. They're about to get the plant going down, and this is not an easy retake for SUMN FC. If they do this, you might as well send them to the final already.
Just give him the trophy, man. Just give him the trophy. Well, Jack's being consistent, and he opens up one on the Angel. This is now getting a little bit scary. Mystic with the God tier flag. He's got a double. Shadow's the only one left. This is so dangerous. A winnable round for SUMN FC out of nowhere. Ultimate pop. Shadow's focusing towards the site. He's got the Rolling Thunder. Forces the 1v1, but Jack wins it. And just like that, SUMN FC shut down a round they never should have had a chance in. How have they gotten away with that? That is just pure robbery.
You know, when you talk about Caster's curse, I might just...
You know, there's literally no way they win this. 10 seconds later, they're defusing the spike. What was that? Like, that flank was so good by Mystic. Nobody on FPX suspected it.
But you have to question.
Why didn't they?
Why didn't they know? Why were they so certain that there was no one there?
Yeah. Maybe we'll have to look back at that round. Perhaps there's some utility that he avoided. There must have been some reason, man, because they had a player outside the teleporter. They knew no one was there. You know you're not vulnerable to heaven anymore. There's nowhere else to look. Now, perhaps Cypher was setting up some utility. I would have to watch that one back from different perspectives to fully see what was happening. But whatever it was, worked out so damn well for SUMN FC. I cannot believe they've gotten away with that one. And you know what? Neither can FPX, because they've called a tactical pause. They are so far behind. That was their way back into this map, back into this series, back into the grand finals that they are fighting to get into. But right now, it's not looking like there's a lot of fight in them.
No, I mean, it's just heartbreaking to see that one. And also, no, I can't. The caster curse is just unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. Like, you were so I was with you, brother. There was no way they win that. Boaster, come on. Now you're just flexing on them, Boaster. He runs down and takes a double. This is fantastic work by the apparent Omen main coming out of nowhere. Mystic, my boy, on Viper, swinging in for another. And Meadow, okay, he gets one, but you've got another two to find. Well, find them he will. He pops his ult, picks up a weapon now that he knows he's safe, runs away with the spike towards the B side. And to be honest here, he should get a plant, but it's those post plants. He has got utility, he's got tripwires, he's got cages, he's even got a camera. This is winnable, and he's got the space. Look at this, the other players are still on the A side, so he'll have time to set up afterwards.
Cage triggered.
And this is such a crucial round for him. He needs to win this to stay in the game. It's going to be super hard. If we're starting to come up to 10 and 11 rounds, it's looking pretty dicey, I'd say.
He's ready for them to have already rotated, so he's not using any of his utility. He doesn't know when he'll be pushed down. This is a problem. The advantage that he had is just completely gone. Meadow able to get one, though, and he fades out afterwards. Oh, sees the shoulder. He knows that player's about to peek and tap it away, but he can't get it done. My heart is breaking for FPX, but it's bursting for SUMN. 10 rounds on the board now. They're making this look like a joke. It's so easy.
It just looks like Jack was playing with him. He just kept jiggle picking, kept jiggling until he found the right angle, and they just crouched and sprayed him. It was...
And as well, that's a left into right shoulder peek. Like, he is at a disadvantage in that fight. Look at this. Hey, now I'm going to deal with you.
Oh,
so well done, man.
Who would have thought this, man?
No, but I'm not even going near that. FPX have never been shut down in this kind of way. This is the semi-finals of the major, the biggest event in Valorant history, in EU history. FPX have always been hot on the heels of G2, who didn't make it to the grand finals for the first time ever, losing a best of 3. FPX now, they're thinking, oh, this is their time to shine. They can take the crown without the giants of Europe in their way, and they can't take more than a round on their attack side. If they lose this one, that is, it's the final round of the half. It starts out with 1-for-1 trades, and over on the A side, there's already been a creep out. Shadow getting close, and he catches Mystic off guard. It's not the best FPX have looked. They had a round that was almost unlosable, but it's damn close.
Absolutely, and you see the push coming in here. Utility is being used off. It's the last round, so there's no reason to save it. The plant should go down, and we have Reyna on a long flank. Shadow takes out Mo as well. This, I don't want to say it again, but it's a 4 versus 2 situation. There's no way they can lose this. Doma is on a dangerous flank here. Can he find a pickoff?
Oh, no, he can't. There's a Guardian waiting up close to Doma him, and it all comes down to Jack, who's chucked out of this round 10-2 at the halftime. No, the UI is not backwards. FPX are trailing by 8. 3 rounds. All that SUMN FC need going onto their attacking side where they've looked best.
Wow. Now this is a mountain to climb.
That it is. You know all about that.
I was waiting
I can see
for
you
that.
right up the top. Your little, I can imagine it's a wooden lodge.
I mean, if there's one thing you're used to, it's looking up to me, so that's okay.
God damn it. I walked right into that one. Man, I cannot believe what we're witnessing right now. This is a lights-out game by Jack, by Mystic, 2 players we've highlighted before for being so damn solid. Jack, he's been quiet in recent months, but man, he's coming in now. And Mystic, I'm loving his Viper more and more every time I see it. FPX being challenged by the young guns, the younger version of themselves, staring them down. Mid-aggression, they're still showing confidence, but there's a 1-for-1 trade. Somehow, Jack gets away with it onto Angel, and now mid-pressure being applied. Doma using up both of his Leers, the nade expertly used to keep them back so they can't capitalize on that expensive utility burned up. Zipan deals with Jack, and they try to rush them down, but Mystic and Doma, they're delivering the punches. Meadows only got a shorty, and now has a 1v2 to win. Again, a round that looks like FPX are in complete control of, just slips out of their hands.
And if that's not worse enough, you have a Reyna with 150 HP. Now that's the worst opponent you want to face in a gun round.
When you've got a shorty, so Meadows upgraded to a classic at least. Well, you've got any weapon, obviously, but even worse if you've got a shorty. He needs the classic in this situation, so he's got it. Now looking over towards the B side. He doesn't see anybody. He has no information. Absolutely nothing to work with. Now, smoke went down. I think he's just heard that. He knows something's going to be going down towards B, but oh, wait. Did he didn't hear the teleport.
No, he didn't. He was too far away to hear the teleporter.
30 seconds left.
It's going to buy them some time. They've already got the man advantage, but in all this time that's been wasted, Doma has lost his armor. Because remember, that overheal only lasts a certain amount of time, and that time has long passed.
Planted. Spike planted. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
Only one person left. The paranoia comes out, actually hits Meadow here. He needs to take cover. He gets his camera out, doesn't find anything. He gets shot instantly as Boaster's just chilling behind Triple here. Inside, he just pre-fires the smokes and gets him. Oh my goodness, this is not looking good.
You know what? We said Boaster's the kind of guy that knows what's going on inside FPX's head, right? He spent so long learning everything there is to know about this team. He said he wants to be Angel. He wants to become him. Little creepy, but he didn't mean it in that way.
Yeah.
But as we see Boaster come into this game, he was looking frustrated 6 or 7 rounds into the first map. He was getting shut down. They were looking stressed. They called a pause round 8, still didn't go their way. Things were falling apart. Map 2, they bounce back. They show they've got what it takes to challenge FPX. And right now, on a map that I was looking forward to so much, I thought it would be the close, gritty one. I thought we'd see a Viper from FPX. They changed it up. They thought they'd catch someone off guard. And instead, they are getting pummeled into the ground. That pistol was like one of probably their last chance back into this. Now they are scrapping. They're desperately trying to find any way back into this, and it's full sheriffs that they're going to try to do it with.
Absolutely, it's really difficult, and I just can't wait to hear Lothar possibly complaining that if they played Viper, maybe this would have looked very different. But, you know, we can't take this away from SUMN. They've been playing so well, so good, so many advanced strategies and flanks, and it's just wonderful to see this kind of gameplay. A finalist worthy for sure.
100%. They have earned their spot here, and they may well earn their spot in the finals as 2 players already dropped, 3 from FPX, leaving it down to Meadow and Shadow. A classic in hand. Meadow can't get anything done. Shadow, Sheriff in hand. 1v5 needed. It's not going to happen, but maybe he can find an exit. Maybe he can catch a player off guard, and he just might. That angle seemed to be his, but I think he was spotted. He was. He definitely was because he's spamming away. That is a flawless round. 12-2. 1 round left for Summon FC
Match
to
point.
claim their spot in the grand finals. We do not have the team that are pinned to be the best in Europe, and we may well not have the second best either. We may have new definitions on the top two after this event.
Yes, and not to mention that was a Prime Gaming flawless, by the way.
That it was. And I got to say, they are looking to be in their prime in their gaming. That's for damn sure.
Just
when
like
look
you
at
are,
Summon
Mitch.
FC.
You're in your prime as well.
Not in the game, but at least in real life. I don't look it, but somehow I am.
Oh, stop it. Now this is an important round for FPX because if you don't win this round or the next 10 rounds, you're out.
Yeah, it's a big ask. That is for sure. The Paranoia lined up very cautiously this time. Not able to catch anybody with it, but Zipan, there we go, onto Mystic. That's a nice opening. Zipan in with two. Angel on another double. And FPX, they're not giving up yet. At least one more round. Unless T-Saka's got a 1v4 in his back pocket. I don't know about that with a Bulldog in hand. I feel like this round might be done and dusted. We'll see what he can manage to salvage with a minute left on the clock.
There is no way he wins this round.
Stop it. You're banned. You're banned from saying that. You've already ruined it once for FPX. Angel's going to be having a conversation with you after this.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Angel. I still love you. Oh, but anyway, this was a bonus round for Summon, so they should be able to full buy after this and possibly secure their dominance in this map so far.
Dominance is doing it a
30 seconds
disservice,
left.
but I really don't know any way to describe what's happening to FPX. I guess the game is doing it for us. 12-3. 9 consecutive rounds needed. That shock dart even hit. Recon caught them a lot of info. Really well handled by FPX. And as I said before, and I said it in the previous map, this is the kind of team that's going to look at this and say, better lose 13-5 than 13-4, and so on, till you hit that overtime. That's what experience brings you. There are a lot of young guns on this team, everyone but Angel. But the reality is they've got his mentorship and they're all level-headed. Now they just need to be level-headed for 9 more rounds. It's a tough one, man. Summon FC have been so solid so far. And look how patient they are. They know this is their game to lose.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. You don't want to make any mistakes now. You have 1 minute and 30 seconds between you and possibly losing or winning a final spot. It seems like the Viper wall is a bit different this time. They are lurking 5 people outside B, but it seems like FPX is expecting this with a very heavy weighing towards B side as well, with 3 players plus Cypher utility lurking up towards B long. They don't have the info that they're here yet. This could be a disaster if they don't find out. The smoke comes out from Omen. I think they're starting to suspect something wrong. They're playing 2 players into hookah as well. Shadow's in a position here to get the crossfire. They seem to be backing off. There comes the TP play. A so far, they're still waiting for them. They haven't over-rotated. Plan is good. The executes are coming out. The raised ult is popped as well. Just being used to save time. But oh my god,
30
Zipan! Are
seconds
you
left.
kidding me?
That timing is god tier. Zipan in with 3, winning this round single-handedly for FPX, you would imagine. And Mo, he's gonna have a huge one. Not gonna happen this time around. And 1 more picked up for FPX. It's a long road, but they're on the right track.
Their hearts must be raising right now.
That timing by Zipan there. Pops the ult. Waits. No.
We can be honest that this is also a certain amount of luck.
Left.
Absolutely. That's what I mean. Like the timing, in a way, there's no way for him to know. He knows players are coming through the teleport. I guess in a way as well, it's not necessarily a bad play by someone. What it is a misread or the lack of information, I should say, that Zipan has been playing towards this position. If they know that he's playing bathroom and then they hear the ult, you walk out of bathroom very slowly and calmly back out of there.
Get out of here, guys, pretty quickly.
They thought that they'd actually sold a rotate towards the B side, so they probably presumed he was coming through spawn. He was about to challenge mid, but they didn't have the right info on that one. For Summon, it's going to be a quick round. They are rushing in towards this B side through the utility, not baiting anything out, looking to just take heads up. Aim duels teleport inside of the Viper or Mystic. He manages to catch 1, catch 2. In fact, Doma shut down right afterwards. Viper Orb goes up. blocking off a little bit more. Oh, okay, I like this.
Okay.
This is really good. They can get to the site and recover that spike now. Also push some of these players back off these angles. Mystic, he's going to TP, but he gets shot through the Viper ultimate, leaving it down to a 2v3 and a much less winnable situation.
Oh, wait,
what is this?
Is this happening?
player remaining.
Shadow, he can get the ace here. 1 versus 1 situation. Jack is very low on HP. 30 seconds left on the clock. The plant might go down. He's pushing him. Is this happening?
30 seconds
He's just
left.
gonna rush him, but Shadow's got the ace. Wow, a savior in this round, playing from elbow. He caught every player that was trying to cross over the site. He sprayed through the Viper ultimate to catch Mystic, who was about to rotate through the teleporter and completely give them a plant on the A site. That was their round if it wasn't for Shadow.
Yeah, and we need to mention the fact that this was a low buy from SUMN FC as well, and still it was that close. Now that Viper ult had a big part of it, of course, to try to pick up the bomb again, but man, these are some close rounds.
That they are, and a really good read by Shadow as well. Sees the Viper ult go down, realizes, okay, they're going to go try get the spike. SUMN FC, they're up in the pace yet again. They challenged Bathroom straight away. They got right up there into their opponent's faces, popped a cage already just to clear this angle out completely. Now they've got control. Fighting for that early map control. TP through to the back. That's with the spikes. No way he commits to that. He's going to cancel it. Either he's going to cancel it or he's throwing the round. Smoke goes down. They're going to push the site with the wall up, cutting off lamps. There is a player currently peeking it. Ult popped, and no damage from Mo. Not a lot of damage from Mo, as Angel catches Doma. This is winnable for FPX with Zipan catching Boaster. That should be, but they've got the control, right? They've got lamps, they've got spawn, they've got heaven. Everything is going their way. Spike not planted. Meadow makes sure of that, connects it, drops the spike in the open, leaves Mystic and Mo to try and recover this, and it's all down to Mystic. He's been sick, but he hasn't been that good, unfortunately.
The climb has begun. They still have another 6 rounds they need to win, but they're looking a lot better now. And to top it off, SUMN probably needs to save here, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So this could be another round or two going to FPX's way. But then again, we've seen how dangerous they are even on these low buys and ecos. You've seen how good they are with the sheriffs. They can still use their utility. It's definitely not something you can just expect to win, simply because it's an eco round.
You know what? You also got to give props to SUMN FC, who've just called a tactical pause. They've got a 6-round lead, plenty of time to throw away that lead, and they realize that. So they're going to call the tactical, figure out what they need to do, and get back into the game with a fresh eye on things. Now, that's something that not a lot of teams do. We mentioned it earlier. I think I saw G2 call 2 tactical pauses, one of which was when they had a 10-1 or 9-2 lead. It was like they were miles ahead. I don't know what they were doing. It was probably a pee break. But they very, very rarely call those tac pauses. And again, when you go down into the lower teams like top 10, top 15, top 20, even more rare to see a tac pause called. They just tend to roll with it. And when you're losing a streak of rounds, that's not when you say, hey, hopefully it gets better, because all of a sudden that 6-round lead becomes a 1-round lead.
Yeah.
The pressure's on.
Go get him.
You're fighting for the 13-11, not where you want to be, not at all. And not where you want to be is where SUMN are. They've actually gone for a Hero Guardian, and that's in the hands of Mystic. Not surprising considering how well he's been playing.
That is true. You need to trust your Viper main and the team to do the duty, right?
Well, I play Viper. Let's not oversell it, but you need to trust them if they're playing as well as Mystic.
Absolutely. You see a sneaky push up to Hookah here so far. It's quite normal to play Hookah in eco rounds as you try to not have too long range fights. Of course, having less firepower, you kind of want to try to push it into close combat, get those one-shots. The flash comes out for Doma here, pushes in on site. Boaster TP's on top of the box here. In on site, he actually gets Meadow with the Friends, and this is what I said, they can be so dangerous even on an eco round. He's stunned and smoked. Doma can't see anything, but this is dangerous.
It absolutely is. Now they forced them into close range fights. The spike is on the side. It can get planted as well. I think they want to open up the space to get that. Oh, I like this after the shock dart. Boaster wins the duel. Angel goes down. A 3K for Boaster. He gets killed by Mo. What's going on? A 4 versus 2. Weapons in the hands of the defenders. Coming back in for the retake. Ult popped. Looking for some victims. Looking towards elbow. Zipan has no idea there's a player inside the site. This is Doma's round to throw. He's got the Sheriff in hand. He's crept into the corner that they cleared earlier here. They have no idea what he's about to do to them. Zipan walks forward, sees Nova, but gets shot in the head, and Shao, the last alive, spotted a 1v3 to win, and SUMN FC, they may just have booked their spot in the grand finals. SUMN FC upset FPX, and this one, I have no doubt, is going to be called an upset. But we knew they were capable, we knew they put the work in, and boy oh boy, we don't have G2, we don't have FPX, but we will have one hell of a grand final.
And this is so deserved. And by the way, that was a Blazilla Thrifty round, by the way. Let's not forget.
One hell of a way to close out the game.
Absolutely. We said this so many times. You cannot sleep on these teams just because they have an eco round. They use their utility so well. They play with low buys, but the Sheriff is so dangerous up close. You see the frenzy with Boaster as well. How does he get away with getting 3 kills there?
He's one. So he's 1 HP, he runs forward after reloading, gets a third, and then Mo, who'd already fired off that dart, kills him. It's beautiful. What a way to end it. Boaster leading the charge, not just tactically, but on the server. We saw the Viper, the play that FPX were dissing on Twitter comes through to bite them in the butt. SUMN FC are your second grand finalists. They'll be joining Heretics, and boy, what a game. I'm so glad we got Bind, man.
I can't believe this is happening. We have 2 teams that we didn't really expect at all in the finals, but that just makes it so exciting. And it's back to what we've been talking about so many times, how the meta has shifted, how we have changes with Killjoy and Cypher, and how this has approached the gameplay in many different ways. So we don't actually really know who's the best team, because so many things can happen, because suddenly Viper is perfectly normal to play in Bind. So, you know, anything can happen in a tournament like this.
A tournament like this, indeed. We've asked for open qualifiers for so long. We get them. Heretics, SUMN, not teams. You could argue at least one of these teams would have been left out of the invites, and now they are the grand finalists in the first ever completely open qualifier tournament of VALORANT, of EU VALORANT, the biggest event, First Strike. This is unbelievable. I'm so happy to see fresh blood, fresh faces occupy these the new BO5s, right? All 5 maps in. But we have one final thing to ask of you here on the caster desk. That is to vote for your HyperX player of the series over on Twitter. So vote for Mystic, whichever player you think should be the player of the series. Really, whoever you think, but come on, Viper mains. Let's go, baby. Now, though, it's time to throw it over to the analysts so they can break down that absolutely ludicrous game. And Yinsu, how happy are you about this?
Yeah, I'm pretty chuffed. I'm not gonna lie, but not as happy as you, Midge. I feel there is a bromance brewing between you and Mystic, which Jonas should be very jealous of. As I said, guys, no G2 in the finals, no FPX.
Can you press it? Can you press it, Hyper?
Yeah. F in chat, everybody. F in the chat. But no FPX, no G2, new blood. I hammered this before we went into the series. But everybody, ladies and gentlemen, everyone at home, we have an unsigned team in the First Strike finals. I mean, I don't think anyone could have expected that.
I don't think anyone would expect FPX to have such a, let's say, not a statement, an exact opposite of statement in the third map.
Literally, yeah. Maps 1 and 3 were not the same team playing.
Yeah, like polar opposite, you know? FPX in first map, cohesive team with fundamentals going, with executes, with everything in place. FPX map 3 felt like 5 people playing together for the first time. Like, really, like there was no synergy that I have seen in the previous maps.
There was literally 4 rounds that FPX looked good in there. Like, and the rest of it was literally just, I mean, the word domination was used. If we had a domination counter throughout that cast, I don't know how many times Mitch and Jonas used that word, but that is the only way you can describe that.
That round 10, when there was a 2v4 retake coming from SUMN.
That literally upset me. Like, watching that upset me.
There was Shao and Meadow going to A short after the plant, and they get ganked from the side without they just bunny hopped around and never checked anything. I was like, what's going on?
We were both here asking that question, and then we look at it, it's like they literally were kiting back to play their utilities. Yeah. But with absolutely no discipline, no awareness of the rest of the map. There was a trap wire in market that I guess got snuck past, but you could have changed the name tags, and I would have believed that wasn't FPX because they were literally bunny hopping back to spawn.
Yeah, pretty weird. But also that clutch when Meadow was in a 1v1 situation, next round he had full utility.
Yeah.
I was just praying.
And so much time, so much time.
Praying, use the utility, set up the traps, use the camera to see if there's someone in CT, then plant. And he had, that's something that you mentioned, he had 8 bullets in the clip. For that 1v1 duel, no utility was used. He was basically like playing to his disadvantage.
Yeah.
Not to his advantage. Very weird. Like, I would never expect FPX to show up in a map 3 where it's most important and just, well, they kind of didn't show up. That's the thing.
All of that aside, SUMN showed us an absolute masterclass yesterday, and that potentially for me was a better game because, I mean, the thing that stood out to me yesterday was talking about how good they were in terms of preparation, these setups and stuff. The thing they demonstrated today, that there is variance to it. There's depth to their playbook. And that was the big concern. I mean, before Bind, I was saying whether or not FPX were able to go away, do their homework. Maybe the Omen pick was to say, look, we're going to employ a strat that we don't want to play your Viper game. We don't want to kind of, you know, set up into them, play into SUMN's hands, basically, but there was none of that. Absolutely none of that. SUMN showed they have several different setups that can deal with, and again, it comes down to that complete lane control. On Bind in particular, there's no mid area for Angel to creep around and find those kills. It was fantastic from SUMN.
It was indeed, and I do want to dive a bit more into that, but for now, we have Mitch's favorite player in EU with me, of course. It is Mystic, the man of the hour. Mystic, welcome to the show and congratulations on making the first strike. Finals, I have to open with this Viper. You know, I feel like you've shocked the entire scene this week with your Viper play. So talk me through that. You know, I know you guys have been preparing it for a long time, but you finally got to show everybody what you can do.
Yeah, we've been preparing this ViperCon for like around 2 months now. I think Boaster and Mini came up with the idea. Well, I mean, Boaster's been wanting to use Viper since the very start of the game, I think. Yeah, Boaster and Mini have helped me a lot with the setups, etc. I'm just here to implement my gameplay and get the win for the boys.
I kind of wanted to ask you something more technical because we've seen quite a few different Vipers now ever since FPX sort of implemented theirs. So give us a bit of a masterclass, I guess. How should Viper be played on Bind, in your opinion?
I'm not sure. I definitely like playing around my walls and utilizing my toxins to delay time. The after plants are a bit cheesy, but they're kind of broken at the moment. Right, so definitely look into that. But yeah, I'm happy with how the team performed.
Well, oh, sorry, go on.
No, that's it. Sorry.
Oh. And speaking of cheesy, we didn't just see you on Viper. We also saw 2 different team comps on the same map in a space of 24 hours. I know Doma must be absolutely delighted to be able to play Reyna. So talk me through how you guys sort of changed your game plan literally overnight.
All right, so I woke up, joined the Discord call, and Mini's like, Mystic, you can't be in the call right now, like, for specific reasons. And I come back later and they're like, yo, we're going to put Doma and Reyna. Like, we're going to let him give it. Like, I hope the original plan was to let him give it and basically out-aim FPX in that bind map. And yeah, we basically theory crafted it this morning and just implemented it today.
Well, how did the rest of the team react to that then? Because I know Doma's been wanting to play Reyna for a very long time, and it's been kind of vetoed this whole time.
Yeah, Doma didn't believe it at first, but I'm sure he's pretty happy with it. He performed very well. Everyone did, and I'm happy. I'm just generally happy for the team.
Well, going into this, I know all of you wanted to play FPX. In every single interview, every single one of you spoke about this revenge story because the last time you played FPX at the Contenders Cup, they got the better of you. So how do you feel now you finally gotten your revenge?
Yeah, it feels great. Like the last time we played in the best of 3, we fell short. We lost 2-0, but this time we came prepared. We didn't perform as well as we would have liked to on Split, but in the second 2 maps, we definitely outperformed them, should I say.
Again, you know, this week we've had a lot of talks about Boaster's brain versus Angel's brain, and I think maybe he came out on top today. Tell me about what Boaster and Mini do for the team, and I guess how big of a brain does Boaster really have?
Oh, both of them put so much work into their team. Both of their work ethics are huge. Like Bosa especially, he's waking up early mornings, like coming up with strats, watching VODs, and the rest of us usually just get on and listen to him for the rest of the day. He just nags on about all this cheesy stuff he's found, all these like strats. Like one of the strats we used yesterday when I was on Viper, that wall that went for the teleporter, he just came up to me in the scrim and was like, Mystic, come here. Aim your wall here. And I was like, what does this do? And then it just flings across the map, and I don't know, it caught me off guard. Like some of the stuff that he comes up with is impressive, and people should definitely respect him for the dedication and the grind he has for the game.
I think everybody respects your whole team, and you know, you really showed up this week on your Viper. And I also got to ask, because coming into this tournament, people had doubts about you. People would say, SUMN FC, you know, they are kind of on a winning streak. I think that you were unbeaten for 17 games in a row, but people would also say that's because you played tier 2 teams, or that's because you haven't played the likes of G2 or Liquid, or beaten anyone decent. Now, do you feel like that narrative needs to change, and you've done enough for people to actually take you as a contender in Europe?
I mean, yeah, for sure. I'm pretty sure we were for sure seen as the underdogs in this matchup. It's a real first high tier game we've played, and we've just come out on top. Like the reason for why we haven't played these top tier teams beforehand is just down to the seeding and stuff. Like I'm sure we would have liked to play these top teams like earlier on in the scene, but like now the time has come, we've finally proven our skill and our worth.
You've picked the right time to prove your skill. And lastly, you have to face Team Heretics in the finals tomorrow. Talk me through that matchup, and what are we expecting?
Oh, we're really excited. I think we're going to expect a 2-1 to us, or 2-0. We're coming in strong with this. I think Mo and Avova have a little rivalry like, at the moment. It's just like we're all generally excited. I'm sure they're excited to play us as well, and we just can't wait.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Mystic. We absolutely cannot wait either, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
Thanks, Yunsu.
Well, everybody, well. We've spoken to the man himself. He gave us some pretty simple instructions on how to play Viper Unbind. I don't think it's as simple as he put it. What do you guys think?
Playing Viper in general requires a lot of awareness, because you need to time perfectly the fuel. That's something that's a crucial skill that everyone needs to learn when playing Viper, because there's not only the fuel but also the cooldown on the utilities. It's actually, I think it's the toughest character to
it's
learn.
the awareness of your teammates as well when you're going to use that utility, and knowing when it's dropping.
You need to teach them the cooldowns. You need to tell them when it's going down. You need to also instruct them when you're using the ultimate, what it cuts off, how it creates space on the map or just decreases the space on the map. So it's definitely a agent that requires the most practice with a team, and I'm very happy that I see more and more teams actually bringing that up. And kudos to SUMN FC, like they played so well, and that motto, that the sentence that we have this event with, so that new fire, is actually so fitting now to the narrative. It's actually pretty cool.
I mean, it's also kind of iconic that it comes down to the post plant again in the final round versus FPX Unbind with that deep play from B-Long. I mean, that's just absolutely great. I'm still kind of mind blown, to be honest. I didn't think they could impress me much more yesterday. Map 1 was kind of frustrating to watch on one hand, but to end like that.
I mean, just let's be honest, like map 1, FPX schooled SUMN.
Yeah.
And map 3 was the reversal. SUMN schooled FPX.
Map 3 SUMN scored FPX harder than they did on map 1.
Yeah, I mean, if you take just map 1, I think people would say, I told you, SUMN FC, they're only good against bad teams. They can't hold up against, top caliber tier 1 teams like FPX. But also, they haven't, they still haven't played G2 and Liquid and so on. So where would you guys play SUMN FC right now? Do you think they deserve to sort of be called a contender and not an underdog anymore?
I mean, I think that goes without saying, to be honest. Massively exceeded my expectations. I think anybody that doesn't say that has not been watching the games, evidently.
Yeah, I mean, my personal opinion about the team got consolidated when I saw them play in the quarterfinals. After I saw how they approach the game, not only I dislike teams that are just playing 5-star players and just out-aim everyone. That's not what Valorant is about. I feel like Valorant is a very tactical game because the utility is so unique and there's so many interactions that can be played. And SUMN and FPX are playing to that, both of them.
Well, this is the thing. The question now comes for someone to show that performance and maintain consistency. Because, you know, we've seen a few teams pull ahead. Obviously, G2 is kind of the storyline for the last, 4 or 5 months in EU Valorant, right? A team now has come along, I don't want to say broken the meta, but they've definitely changed the meta from what we're used to seeing in Europe. The test now for SUMN is to kind of establish this and maintain consistency. If they can do this, continue to innovate and come up with these new things that, I mean, put them, I'll be honest, head and shoulders above some of the other teams we've seen at this event, that's when they'll solidify their position.
And before I said we move on to tomorrow's final, I just wanted to announce that Doma is the winner of HyperX Player of the Series. And I think that there could have been a case made for a lot of those players, but he had an exceptional series for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there was a couple of really strong individual performances, and it varied map by map for SUMN as well. So it's always nice to not have kind of the hard carry, especially on one of those duelist roles for any team. Doma very much deserving it, though, time and time again. He was coming up again. I mean, look at this. Picking up kills left, right, and center against a team like FPX. And, you know, coming up clutch in situations that, you know, some of them, you got to argue, odds were against them in these rounds.
I mean, in the pre-show, Lothar, you were there when Doma said he has Zipan in his pocket. Do you think he had Zipan in his pocket today?
I think
that's an understatement.
They packed like the entire team there, you know.
Yeah.
It's just so cool to see a team come out of nowhere and basically wreck everyone. I mean, not everyone yet, but their side of the bracket. It's pretty cool to see an underdog story. I feel like everyone, when it comes to like cheering in every single sport, they always cheer for the underdog.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, the best thing is now we've kind of got 2 heroes from this event.
Yeah.
Because again, I mean, everybody would have probably put their money on a G2 FPX final. I'm actually thrilled that's not the case.
Some Cinderella stories happening,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
I love that. You see, this is why I love the Valorant scene right now, because these things can happen. Before we move on to the previous game we had, G2 versus Heretics, I also want to say that the Prime Gaming play of the day is, of course, this absolutely fantastic ace from Nuki. I think we're going to get the clip up now and have a look to see how he...
Closing out the match, right?
Exactly, dominated G2
yeah.
in this fashion.
I mean, as well, this is just as iconic as having the Viper end to bind as well.
Yeah.
I mean, what a way to close out. This series was absolutely insane. And again, to just step up here. And to be honest, there were moments where Nuki kind of looked good throughout the series, but he really stood out on split. So absolutely deserved. I mean, his performance was insane for Heretics.
That is such a wholesome smile. Like,
It
that
is, yeah,
smile
yeah.
makes me smile. And today has been, I'd say, probably the most historical day in EU Valorant so far. We saw the 2 best teams both fall. You know, the 2 giants, the 2 titans.
The 3, if you include Liquid
Of
going out in game 1 as well.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. So what does this mean, do you guys think? What does this mean for the scene going forward? Not just for tomorrow, but beyond this tournament?
I would like to predict, I'm not sure if I will be right, but I would like to predict to see a lot of movements from other semi-pros, pros moving to Valorant now. Because they're going to see, oh, this is actually bringing like a lot of thoughtful strategies to the game, and it's actually all about skill, and there's still place to grow. And I'm probably going to see a lot of movement and transfers and new teams coming in, especially after seeing this event and knowing the plans for the contenders, right?
Like Masters challenges.
Master challenges, and then Worlds coming next year. So this opens up a lot of space for upcoming teams. So I would love to see more and more teams coming in, and organizations as well, coming into the scene.
I mean, for me, we had one real storyline from EU Valorant for the last 4 or 5 months, like I said, and I feel like now we're potentially, this is the first chapter of 4 different stories. So that's absolutely fantastic. We couldn't ask for more from First Strike so far.
That's very poetic. I really like that. Of course, tomorrow we have our final between Team Heretics and SUMN FC. And that is going to be a best of 5, you guys.
You might want to remind him that it's a best of 5. He's expecting a 2-1 victory.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even catch that. Yeah. Good point, Hypog. Good point, Hypog. Yeah, as you guys can see on your screens, Team Heretics versus Summon FC here tomorrow. You don't want to miss this one. It's going to be absolutely huge. Let's have a soft prediction before we go into it, just to round everything off, you guys.
I mean, dare I say it? I want this to go the distance as well. We're absolutely blessed to get 3 mappers for both games today. This one's just so tough to call. Both teams have impressed me.
Yeah.
I'd argue that Summon have maybe impressed me a little more. It's tough to call, honestly. I don't want to commit to a prediction right now, if I'm honest.
I think that it's pretty 50-50. But if Summon FC will play to their discipline like they played in map 2 and 3, I don't see Heretics coming on top unless they do exactly the same. Because they're quite similar when it comes to the style they present in-game on the server. But it seems like, I would say, dare to say, that Summon FC seems to be even more consolidated as a team and they play off each other even better.
Yeah, I mean, I might have to go with you here, Hypoc, and see what happens tomorrow. We sleep on it, we come back, we digest, and then we get ourselves ready for that best of 5. And with that, guys, we have our finalists. Congratulations to Team Heretics and Summon FC. They will be back here tomorrow to see who can make it all the way at First Strike and become the new kings of Europe. Trust me, you won't want to miss this one.